Well, darling, there's only one God. Darling, there's only.
Welcome to the Dirty Bag Podcast. I'm your host, Cookie, and I'm bringing y'all what I like to think is an early Christmas gift. Okay? So, this season, we talked off and on about dating. Y'all know that ain't my bag for real, but I gave y'all what y'all asked for. But obviously, our relationship guru, Derrick Jaxn, has done his thing again. Fuck out of here. So, I brought a friend in tonight to chat. I feel like y'all need to hear a man, a grown ass man, talk for once. So, I got Leon here with me tonight.
Word, what's up?
Yes, and what's first of all, what's funny about this is we go back Ferguson days, so it's always interesting to have a
Mm-hmm.
conversation with an activist that ain't got nothing to do with trauma. So that's always a
Word,
special treat for me. So how's life
word.
treating you?
I mean, it's straight, you know. I mean, I can't complain, but I won't. You know what I mean? But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Right. So did the pandemic whoop your ass, or did you just float?
It definitely with my ass. Shit, I'm just now getting the pandemic weight off. So yeah, it was hard. It was tough for sure.
What'd you do?
As far as getting the weight down,
Yeah.
or just in general. Oh, I just do intermittent fasting, and some light cardio right now. But intermittent fasting is the main shit though. Like I lose maybe 5-6 pounds a week sometime off intermittent fasting. Word.
Pause. So that's when, because I'm dumb, I go from being fit to just being thick and I don't give a damn. So
hmm
is there like some days where, tell me what it is? Just help us out real quick.
So my window is typically I allow myself to eat between noon and 8 o'clock. Nothing before that, nothing after that. And really what happens is when once I've been doing it for so long, I typically don't even eat until like 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. Because I'm not even hungry until that time, just because after a while, your body gets used to it. And so I think the science is like once you are fasting for like 11 hours or 10 hours or something like that, you go into ketosis. And so your body starts breaking down, using that fat for energy or whatever. And so it just falls off.
I wake up thinking about meals. I go to bed.
Is it what I did was I just changed my relationship with food. You know what I mean?
Okay,
That's
yes.
basically what it is. Like between intermittent fasting and just stop eating when I'm not hungry, it works. Even if you did no exercise, you would lose hella weight, and you can eat whatever you want to.
See, right now I'm trying to do that little saltwater flush that somebody suggested. I am dying.
Yeah, nah,
I'm
nah.
dying.
Nah, I'll be doing this for the rest of my life though, because it adds years to your life as well. There's science behind that. But that's not what that podcast is about. Because I can go on about that for forever.
People needed to know. Look, we
Yeah,
trying to get into these holiday outfits. I've been asking, like, what y'all doing to snatch real quick? I understand. I know how to go to the gym, but I'm in
but
Texas. The food is amazing here.
amazing. I'm knowing. So yeah, if you're trying to lose hella weight, I would go into the intermittent fasting for 5 days a week, and do cardio maybe 4 days out of the week. And if you are able to be disciplined with that, pardon me, I guarantee you will lose about 5 or 6 pounds a week, easy, easy, and it adds years to your life because for whatever reason, like it's these chemicals or something like that that gets released in your body when you're under like stress or trauma or something like that, and those same chemicals get released when you fast, and they preserve you some kind of way. I forgot what the whole science behind it is, but people who do this intermittent fasting shit or just fast as a part of their lifestyle, they end up living 90, 100 years old and shit like that. So yeah, it's the shit.
See, I thought I was adding years to my life this year. We can loop this all in because I wasn't dealing with niggas this year.
I mean, yeah, your piece too would definitely
I
add
ain't
years
getting
to your
nothing
life
all
for sure.
2022. I shut it down.
For
I shut
sure,
the factory
for
down.
sure, for sure.
So,
That do it as well. Yeah,
but I
yeah,
start
for
eating
sure.
more. So we gonna find a balance in there some way. I definitely fasted niggas, and I felt like
Yeah,
my stress level
I
went
mean, like I
down.
said, during your window of eating, like you can bash the food, you can bash, but just you have to be disciplined about when the window's closed for sure, and drink a gang of water for sure.
I drink
Yeah.
Hennessy. I drink these do say slushies. I'm a I didn't know that that's what the window was. I just man, not eating before 12 is crazy. Either eating some
Yeah, it's straight. It's straight. And then also, you know what I'm saying? My sleep schedule is so crazy. You know, sometimes I don't get up until 12 o'clock. You know what I mean? So that helps too, because you basically want to time it with your sleep schedule or maybe your work schedule so that you can maximize that shit. You know, because if you sleep for 8 hours, that's 8 hours you ain't got to think about eating, and that's 8 hours in your window. You know what I mean?
right.
So yeah,
I feel like this is all connected somehow. So okay, ladies, so we learned about the ketosis and intermittent
it's
fasting
lit.
against snatched. We know snatch is always a thing, so there's that. So we covered that part. If you're trying to feel good
Mm-hmm.
about ourselves, so let's deal with the other part. It's how you look and it's who you entertaining. So you saw what happened this week. Blogger Tasha K, I swear, I think it's that woman's life's mission to bring this man. I ain't gonna say bring him down. He brings himself down, but she
That's a
keeps her
fact.
foot on his neck. So she released pictures of him down at in Miami. At, what is it called again? That
What you
everybody
mean?
goes to.
South Beach.
No, for this event, the art event. Why is it on tip of my tongue? And I'm this is really bad.
Shit.
Look, we both bad. We
Nah,
old as shit.
right.
Old ass
I
niggas.
don't know, but
Art
we know what you're talking
Basel.
about,
Art
though.
Basel.
Yeah, Art Basel.
So
Thank you.
he's
Yeah.
down here with somebody at Art Basel, which why you would go there with somebody I don't know, because anybody who's anybody is down there. But he's with the woman, and then shortly after he announces that they filed for divorce or he filed for divorce. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there should be any arguments about this man at this point. My personal opinion, I think that he's so good at what he does because he's talking about who he is. That's just me as a woman. I felt like he was really just describing himself in all these little tight ass
For
muscle
sure.
car short videos. But you as a man, you might have a different
I've
perspective that we didn't
never
hear.
seen none of his shit. I've never seen none of his content. The only exposure I have to them are the scandals that's happening. You know, the past couple of years. Like I didn't know anything about him before that, and I haven't seen any of his shit since then either. So
But you
I
know
don't know what he
about
does.
relationship gurus though.
I do, I do. Especially relationship gurus couched within church culture. It is a monster.
Break that down because some people may not get what you mean by that.
I mean, like without even watching him, I bet that his content is about quote unquote chaste women and basically being the model wife or the was it Proverbs something woman. I forgot which book it is in
Proverbs
Proverbs.
31.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, that type of shit.
Yeah.
And it's weak because the church really is just a hotbed of patriarchy anyway. You know what I mean? And especially for women, it can crush you. It can crush you, and it can make you and mold you into somebody that you think is the person that God loves and to get you into heaven. But at the same time, you done totally lost yourself. And so,
Yeah.
and then what happens when you lose yourself is your man loses interest too. Even though he's the one who facilitated that and would help to crush her really with all the infidelity and with the church culture and scriptures. Still, once women become that Proverbs 31 woman, we don't want them anymore. You know what I mean?
Ain't nobody gonna like that part. Cause that's literally what a lot of men use to shame women into being a certain way. Really, they like
Listen,
what they like.
women who are listening right now, niggas will swear up and down that that's what they like. But I promise you, they do not. I mean, maybe they do at home want someone who's subservient to them, and somewhere in their soul, but they won't. They won't love that person. They won't be in love with that person. I will say that. Um, I know for me personally, just my whole life, and this. Let me back up a little bit. I came out of the church. You know what I mean? It's been in recent years that I've just become, I don't want to say an atheist or maybe agnostic.
You
I don't
keep
know, but I
disappearing
just
out
don't.
of my side.
Oh, my
Go
bad.
on now. There
I
you
just don't
are.
believe. I don't believe, in organized religion in any shape, form, or fashion. And I was in church heavy, a deacon, a chaplain for the choir,
You was a
uh,
deacon?
a, a youth minister,
Are
all of
you
that. You know what I'm
serious?
saying? I used to preach all of that. You know what I mean?
What?
Um, yeah, for sure. And so I know this shit intimately. You know what I mean? Because I was a part of that machine as well. Um, and and the thing is, like I was getting to, niggas, if you with some dude or you interested in some dude and he doesn't champion or extol the virtue of your personality, you should shake because he's going to try to mold you into somebody that he thinks is the model wife, and then he's going to go cheat on you with someone who's being themselves, someone who is fun, someone he can laugh with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and that's just the case. That's just, I mean, it's sad to hear, but it's the truth. So I would, if I was a woman, I would not aspire. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want to be a Proverbs 31 woman, because you're gonna get played. And but you saw it in her though, because you saw that like her old picture. She bad.
She is
She's a
actually
good
bad. She
looking
thick.
woman.
Yeah.
She is bad, but now she's so holy that she's no earthly good now. You know what I mean? And so of course he's looking other places because he's not getting that same satisfaction from the woman that he chose, and it's his fault. It's his fault. He created the woman that she has become, and that's not the woman that he fell in love with.
She was definitely a baddie. I'm looking at them
Yeah,
pictures like, because people are making fun of her now. Like, I understand why. And they comparing her to the girl he's with now, which she looks like every girl in Dallas, honestly. Them long eyelashes. I'm not
man,
knocking the girl, but she already
he does.
cutting
She
up on
doesn't
her
look as good as his
IG.
wife.
She
Yeah,
actually doesn't.
she does not. She does not. I mean, it just it's the way his wife is presenting herself, like that holy girl summer shit in the pool. That's a lot. That is a lot.
She had a hat on,
Like straight up, a hat on in
a
the
full outfit.
whole. Yeah, it's like a Medea. You know what I'm saying? Like that's too much playing. You know what I'm saying? I bet there was a point where he was like, I can't even pretend no more that I like this woman. Like we have to get a divorce. You know, you want to be your authentic self, and I mean that's the reason like me and my wife do so well, just because I made it clear to her from the beginning that I mean I think she's fine. You know what I'm saying? But and then it is important too. Like I'm not going to sit and act like looks are not important. That sexual attraction is not important, because it is. Those things are very important. Um, but your looks will fade at some point. You won't be as attractive at some point. You know what I'm saying? So what else is it going to be? With niggas who say shit like, what you gonna bring to the table?
Address that,
They they
please.
they don't like women. I mean, I'm gonna just keep it funky with you. They like sex, but they don't like women, because the thing is, like for my wife, you know what I'm saying? Like she's funny. She's super smart. You know what I'm saying? We learn shit from each other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. I think I really fell in love with her because I love music. But I remember she put together this playlist for me of shit that I wasn't hip to, and like took me over the moon. You know what I mean?
Man, come
Um,
on now, innovative
you
baddie.
know, you know what I'm saying? So it's just it's things like that, you know what I'm saying? And I just wouldn't be able to deal with it if she became someone else, it because like again, that's if she tried to conform to, you know, what she thought, I thought was great, you know what I'm saying, then she wouldn't be herself. And what I think is great is her, you know what I'm saying? Like she's my type. My type is my wife, and it's because she is her authentic self all the time. Does that mean that sometimes we don't disagree? I mean, that we disagree? Absolutely. Do we butt heads sometimes? Absolutely. But we grow. You know what I'm saying? We grow from it because we have authentic conversations. We have tough conversations with each other too, and it helps us. And I just wouldn't want a yes woman. It's boring. It's
Right.
boring. You know what I mean? It's that's the bottom line. And like you know how they say the number one rule for a woman in a relationship is to not embarrass her. The number one rule for a man is don't bore me. And that's what happens. And I don't even think niggas know that that's what they turn in their spouses or their significant others into, is that boring woman. I don't think they even recognize it a lot of times, and it's to their own detriment. Because women are dope. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't understand it a lot of times. But some of these cats just don't like women.
And we see them
It's
post all the time. And I hate when women see it and they fall right into it, where they be like, where are the women at that don't go outside, that don't be in the streets, that stay home? And I be watching it like, well, what the hell do you? I mean, I'm not saying you got to be out in the streets, but what do you do? Because I don't
yeah.
just sit in the house all the time. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's boring. You don't go out maybe to the club, but you can go anywhere. You can go to a
Mm-hmm.
museum,
Mm-hmm.
to
And
an
then,
art show.
and to be clear, if there, if you as a woman did want to just be in the house and read or uh, play video games or watch movies or something like that, that's straight if that's who you are. You know what I mean? That's straight if that's who you are. But if you are someone who likes to go out and have fun, a different type of fun or whatever, and do those things, like, and then instead of that you're at home, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. I mean, because
Yeah.
you can go out and do stuff with your spouse, with your husband, if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife, I know her love language is quality time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so, you know, we can just be going out to the store together. You know what I'm saying? And it's good because we laughing, cracking jokes with each other, just being loving on each other. Period. You know what I'm saying? And it works. But that's who she is, though. I mean, I love my wife for who she is, and I wouldn't want to change her. I was married before. I was married before. Full disclosure, when I was in the church, when I was a deacon and all that good shit or
I
whatever.
can't believe you was a deacon.
Word. Um, and that is a part of the reason that I'm not with my wife now, sad to say. Um, because I did recognize, 'cause I mean, like, I never doubted her love for me. Like, she definitely, she loved me a lot. But part of our problem, we had a couple, but part of the problem for me was that, she was conforming to, who she thought I liked or something. You know what I'm saying? She was conforming to, and also, us being in the church, she was on a praise team and all that stuff like that or whatever, and it didn't work for me. Like, I remember one time we were together with her family, and her cousins were driving her, like, they were on her ass because they would say that basically she was just down for whatever I was down for, like, without question, and they were just cracking these jokes, and I was taken up for it, but in the back of my mind, I was like, that is really how it is. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like it.
They
I
didn't
do
like
not
who
like.
she was turning into.
And I mean, in this thing, it ain't like she was, it wasn't like a denial situation or nothing like that. Like, I mean, make that clear. It's just that I don't know. I can't really put it into words for real, but it's just that she was. If for a minute it felt like I was her whole world, and
Mm-hmm.
and basically, like, I was the her sales. You know what I'm saying? Like, wherever way I turned is whichever way she was going, and that's not. I can't go like that. You know what I'm saying? We can't level each other up if we are trying to do the exact same things, or if you have an idea, then your idea changes because I have a different idea about it. You know what I mean? Like, we got to find that middle ground is where the fruit is. And yeah, if you turn into that yes woman, that Proverbs 31 woman, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And again, if you fooling with some dude who is trying to make you that, just know that when you become that woman, that he's going to be looking somewhere else. Especially if that's not who you were when he met you. Now, it's different if that's who he was, that's who you were when y'all met or whatever, and he was some super holy cat or whatever, and that works, y'all compatible, nice. You know what I mean? But if you were someone different when he met you, that's the person he still will be in love with. Like, he won't. he won't even recognize that he doesn't even. That's the thing. Like you won't like this new person. You have to like the person that you with. Like I'm sure Derrick loves Denia. I'm sure he loves her, but he doesn't like her motherfucking ass though. He don't like her. He don't. He don't like her. He don't like her, and he don't respect her. And
Right.
that's the thing. Like, because respect is just as important, or even more important than love is. You know what I'm saying? Because when you respect someone, you want what's best for them. You want to have their best interests at heart, and you want to make sure that you're not out here making them look goofy. And if you don't respect your spouse, like it's just not going to work. And it's hard to respect someone who is like your little lapdog. It's hard.
Ain't nobody trying to
It's
hear that
hard.
part. So you, I mean, you really dispelling a lot of what these men, especially these podcasters, these podcast dudes, push out here about. That's why you're gonna be single. I remember one dude, and it went viral. He was basically saying like he was at an event with his grandmother and like all of her kids and great grandkids and all of that were in the room, and it was like she had everything. Everybody in this room came from her. Like she did all this for us. And when you get to the end of your life, you're not gonna be worried about how many Gucci bags you like. Are you gonna be worried about your Gucci bags if you're alone? Basically saying that y'all should be like my grandma. And I'm looking back
Yeah.
like my grandmother was that submissive woman that stayed at home. She was a songwriter and never really
Mm-hmm.
pursued that full on. She cooked,
Mm-hmm.
cleaned, stayed at home. But when she was getting near her deathbed, my grandfather cheated. And I want to say
Mm-hmm.
6 months after her death, he moved the mistress and her grandkids in with us. Like this woman slept in my grandma's bed, and I had to see this every day. So you're right. Eventually, people go with, and I thought the broad was sloppy as shit, but there was something
Mm-hmm.
about her that did something for him.
Yeah,
So,
she was probably her authentic self.
oh yeah,
She
she
was
was
he was
extra as
probably
shit.
probably someone that he couldn't mold. You know what I mean? Like
Right? Yeah.
that's not that's. I know cats will say this. That's what they like with their words, but their actions say because something completely different. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. And then if it's a nigga who really feel like that, I don't respect it. I think it's weak. If you really want someone that you can control, like it's weak to me. Like the cats who say, like, especially like black dudes who say they don't date black women because of not
Attitude.
being able to control them. Yeah, attitude and shit like that. That's weak as fuck. That's weak as fuck. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
not here for it. And again, I do want these women to be delivered from these niggas and from and really and from that church culture. I don't think folks understand how toxic that church culture is. Like even the church that I was a deacon at, I love those folks. That the pastor, he's probably the greatest man of integrity I've ever known. His
Okay.
wife, before she passed, she was like my second mother. I loved her to death. You know what I mean? But because of their beliefs, you know what I'm saying, it was detrimental to my personal growth, for one, and it's definitely detrimental to women in general. It's
Nobody
just
discusses that.
it's the sad truth, and it's
Yeah.
sad because women are 80% of the church. They the ones who are doing all the work, and so yeah, it's a sad cycle, and I do want folks to be delivered from that in a real way. I'm grateful that I was able to get out of that.
Well, hopefully she got delivered. And that's the thing. I was with somebody that was aspiring to be a pastor. I mean, he was doing the Bible study, the Sunday morning Bible study, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And he came to me as a 20 something who I never missed a Bible study. I was in my good girl
Mm-hmm.
church era, but I dressed the same way I do now. But I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
outside. I wasn't doing nothing. But when he and I
Mm-hmm.
started dating, people started forcing me or encouraging me to quote unquote change my image
Mm-hmm.
to fit in. And I'm like,
A
y'all
first
know.
lady. They wanted to groom you to be a first lady.
Yes. I was like, y'all know I was wearing tight jeans when he met me, right? Like, surely y'all know that's what sent him my way. But but
Facto.
but he was the one that was battling addiction. That's what the crazy thing was. I was covering
Mm-hmm.
for his shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I've never been judged as badly as I was. And when I entered a relationship with him and we were talking about marriage, he brought me before the pastor and everything, and had that
Mm-hmm.
conversation. But it was
Mm-hmm.
so hard being with somebody that was of the cloth or aspiring to be, where
Mm-hmm.
I was being the one being judged because I didn't look a certain way. So I can speak to that. That was a rough era of my life. And I couldn't personally see myself being with somebody, I hate to say it, it's gonna sound bad, but being with somebody that deep in the church in that way again because I kind of know what it looks like from being on the inside.
Yeah, and it's the same. I mean, like I'm sure that everyone who's listening um, will feel at least some of this, especially if they are deep into the church, especially if you one of the folks who's going to church like I was, 3 and 4 times a week, for Bible study, for Sunday service,
I
for
didn't miss none
choir
of that.
rehearsal, for the youth mentorship and shit like that.
Right.
It is, and the thing is, I'm not saying that it's all bad, because the community is nice. It's nice to have community and have an extended family like that, and a lot of the folks that I became close to, I'm still close with, even though our beliefs are completely different.
Same.
Um, but at the end of the day, you don't want to lose yourself in the church or in a nigga, either one. Like you just you don't because you will find yourself by yourself, and
Obviously.
yeah, and that's not what you want. Now watch with Denia, like my hope for her is that she does um, is able to heal from the situation because she's have to deal with this in a public forum. That by itself is tough. You know what I mean? And then dealing with it's shattering her beliefs to a certain extent. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm hoping that she's able to heal. And I think that in a couple of years she will resurface, and she's going to look amazing. She's going to look amazing because she's going to not have to deal with the weight of the hurt, the weight of the the um, the disrespect, the weight of the infidelity and all of that. And hopefully she can get from underneath the weight of the expectations of the church, because people, church folks, they mean well, but they'll say some shit that just doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying?
They'll
Like,
just be talking.
you know, yeah, God, this is God's plan. Word, this is God's plan
Ain't
for
no
me
way,
to get
boy.
divorced from my husband, right? Yeah, like that's yeah. So yeah, I hope that she's able to separate herself and just get the healing that she needs, and get back to being the Betty that she was,
Yeah.
and I think she's able to do that. She'll be all right. I mean, she'll have suitors lining up. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. It's a sad situation. It makes me sad because I just know too many women like her. You know,
You know a lot. So you
um,
speaking for all the deniers.
yeah. I just know too many. Like when that clip of her, praying and really cursing people, what I'm saying, about her marriage.
I said,
Like I
oh
was
my
wildly
God.
embarrassed. I was wildly
That was
embarrassed.
so
I felt like
embarrassing.
secondhand embarrassment because I was like, damn. Like I remember being a part of that culture. You know what I'm saying? And the reason that she looks weird is because that's not who she's supposed to be. That's not. I'm not saying that she she got to just completely leave Christianity alone or whatever. But that's not who she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Not that person. Not that person cursing people in Jesus' name. Like nah,
That was
nah.
the
It's
roughest
it's
prayer I'd ever seen. I ain't seen a prayer that rough in a long time.
bro. It was wild. It was wild. It was cringy, and I just like I felt really bad for her at that point, um, because I knew there was only in one way. I at least thought that she would be the one to initiate the divorce, that she would reach her breaking point. But to be true, that's not usually how it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like it's usually
You
the
do
the, the
all
nigga
that.
who is the one. Yeah,
That
yeah,
man been
it's
wanting out.
yeah for sure,
When he
for
realized he
sure.
could come back and turn it into a marketing scheme, because when he got caught last time, he would do these videos and refer to himself in the third person. It was very
hmm
strange.
It was
Like
wild.
giving tip.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now that you mention that, I did watch one of his videos
I
when
know
when
you
the
did.
first when the shit first happened. He was sitting in the car, and I was like, "This cat is wilding." Yes, yes. And then there was one. I think he was sitting in the car outside the one bitch house, the one
Yeah.
he was cheating with.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just.
You didn't
And the
just
thing
clap
is, it's such.
somebody's cheeks and you finna get in the car and give everybody advice on how to avoid a dude like you. That's why
And that's
dudes
the
hated
thing.
him so much. But I'm like, he's not giving bad advice. He's literally telling you how to avoid him. I feel like he was just talking about himself the whole time.
for sure, for sure. I mean, you can only talk about what you know. And experience is the best teacher. And it is what it is. And just like her situation, especially when you have again in the church, because the church, the reason I keep going back to the church narrative, because it's such it's part and parcel to what they're going through. It's such a huge deal. Like it's the whole shit that they're going through is the shadow of the church is over that heavy, you know. And I don't know, man. Like I said, I want her to get her deliverance in a real way. Um,
I think you should find somebody for her and just have them slide in her DMs in Jesus'
nah,
name.
I can't even. I can't even trust it. I can because I wanna have somebody holler at her and then she end up getting hurt again. You know what I'm saying? And then, I was gonna say back up. Derrick is a charismatic cat in the church and stuff like that, and then with the his little videos or whatnot, and so women recognize him and they recognize who his wife is. You know what I'm saying? There's no secret. Like when that woman chose to sleep with him, or those women chose to be with him, they knew exactly what they were doing,
They knew
and they
exactly what
felt
they
like
were
how they
doing.
were getting run up on his wife. You know what I'm
They
saying?
did.
And so, and that's even in the church, especially in the church. Ask a single pastor. Ask a single pastor how many women throw the box at him regularly. Ask him, and I bet you he have stories for days, because that's just how it is. When I was in church like that, like it could have been crazy. It could have been
They
crazy
love
just because
that. Girl, women love
they do,
that.
they
Women
do,
love it.
they do,
They love that
they
power,
do.
that authority. I don't know what it is. They love pastors. My pastor in Joplin, Missouri, where I was going to church, he told me that one of my friends from
Mm-hmm.
college was trying to hit on him, and I'm like, I noticed there was a time period she suddenly started coming to church. She told me this man called her over to pray for her because he used to make house calls. He told me, I said, the little hussy did what?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's and so you have to recognize that, and you have to recognize that, like as the woman to your man, and again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be interested in the stuff that your nigga interested in. I'm not saying that you shouldn't support him and stuff like that, but you can't get lost in that. You can't support him so much that you don't support yourself. You can't give so much of yourself to him that you don't have enough to give to yourself. Like that, it doesn't work, because again, while they say that's cool and that's what they want, they're gonna be sitting outside this other woman's
In
house
the
making
car,
videos.
in a tank top, in a medium tank top,
Yeah,
talking about, tell me what you
yeah,
think in the comments.
yeah.
I think
That's
you
a
need to get
fact.
away from that lady's house
Mhm. A fact. That's a fact.
before
Just
Tasha
like
K
like
get you.
and I ain't even peeping in the Tasha K stuff. I mean, I'm not even, she's not in my, rim of exposure, so I don't even know what she be on. But
She owed
yeah, and,
Cardi
and just
money, and she still found time to come after this man again.
yeah, that's out of control. That's
It
out of
is.
control. But just like women, love confidence. Men love it. We love confidence. That's why hoes got so many niggas, because
And
they
nobody,
confident.
and you know what? I had to think about this one day where I saw dudes online talking smack about women. This, I said, every hoe I know in college is married now
And they
by
and they
dudes
and
that
they
still
can
judge women.
say what now?
By dudes that still judge women. I'm like, bro, we ain't forgot your girl got bodies.
Hmm.
We ain't judging it.
Yeah,
Quit acting
and
like
and,
you
and
ain't.
and that's the thing too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, dudes care about that. They care about how their woman is perceived. So it is a fine line. Um, but again, like you said, like for me personally, I wouldn't care if I don't care about what my wife did before she knew me. You know what I mean? Because like, I mean, to be honest with you, I done had a wild life myself, like wild.
He been a pastor. He
So
been outside.
yeah, I can't judge nobody. I can't judge nobody. But how you gonna want someone with zero experience, but then you want her to be a beast in the sheets? You can't have both of them.
You got dry
You
mouth
know,
all
they're
on your meat. That don't work.
yeah.
She don't know how to. She
Right.
can't ride at gunpoint. That don't work. Her
That's
arch is
fact.
trash. That don't work.
It don't work. It don't work.
It
You know what I mean?
don't
But
work.
again, it's confidence though. Niggas love it. Niggas love a woman who doesn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Knows who she is. Like flat out. As much as they try to fight against that, those are the women that they never forget. Those are the women that they are, calling or DM and saying that, I miss you type shit. You know what I'm saying? When they still with they person.
I can
You
speak for that.
know,
Yeah.
it's a fact.
I
It's it's
had
it's,
somebody had a whole marriage. Trust. Only found out because
it's
we
a
had
fact.
mutuals and they posted them on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" So you ain't never lied. They never
Yeah.
forget you, and they don't leave you alone until you tell their wife on them.
They don't. They don't. Yeah, that's a fact. We don't forget those women. And those we always feel like those are the ones that got away type shit or yeah. So if
Y'all
if
here
if,
to
if
hear
people
it.
don't get nothing else, if people don't get nothing else from this is please the best thing that you can do for yourself and for a potential mate is to be your authentic self 100% of the time. That doesn't mean that there's not compromise because every relationship has compromise. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you cannot transform to somebody completely different because you're in a relationship. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for you. It's not gonna work for your partner.
Ladies,
It's not
did you
gonna
hear
work.
that? Did you hear it? It ain't me saying it. It ain't some bitter single because y'all already made comments that somebody that's a certain age that's single, something wrong with them. We heard that message.
Mm.
Okay, but
Right. Which is crazy.
I think it's
And
crazy.
also, you know what? Let me also too. What's super important is especially when if y'all not married, date multiple niggas. Date multiple niggas. Period. Period. And let niggas know you date multiple niggas. Don't I ain't saying hide it. Be upfront that, I can't go out with you this Saturday because I'm gonna be with this other nigga Saturday. You
I
know what
would
I'm
never say
saying?
that to anybody,
And
but I had a friend tell me that, and she was like, "I make sure they know," and that's when they keep calling me. So
let them
please,
know. Because I'm gonna tell you, for me personally too. I mean, you gotta be like, may the best man win. Whoever lock it down, lock it down. But just about every woman that I dated that I liked a lot, or even the few women that I fell in love with, they I took them from their man, and the thing is, like that was even as a teenager, that was my mo because I always felt like niggas gotta want you for me to want to be with you. You know what I'm
true.
saying? And you know date multiple niggas. That's all I'm saying. Date multiple niggas because you don't want to be tied down if you're not married.
If
You
you
don't know
ain't
you
trying
don't
to
know what you
snatch
don't
up
know
with
who
a
you might.
dude that you don't know whether or not he's meant for you, should you really be dating him?
Listen, that's how I felt. Like I mean, if you ain't got no man, like I don't. It's a reason you ain't got no man. That's how I felt when I was a young person. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
damn.
Um, and I know that's I've matured since then, but
Yeah.
a piece of that is still there in me. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be desired by folks for me to want to desire you. And the way that you
Okay.
would do that is being your authentic self, flat out. Because there's some like no matter what you into, it's gonna be a nigga that's into that shit too.
This is true.
You know, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? No matter what your interests are, there's going to be somebody that is going to fuck with it heavy, and y'all will be good together, flat out. You have to like who you with. Love ain't enough. You have to respect who you with. Love is not enough. And it's hard again, it's hard to respect a yes person or a little lap dog or somebody who's, always, following behind me whining. Like it's hard to respect that. But it's way easier to respect a woman who gonna do her thing with or without you. You know what I'm saying?
That's key.
It's easy to respect a woman who you feel like doesn't need you. Like she don't need me. She's here because she wants to be with me. You know what I'm saying? Because regardless, I mean, niggas don't really feel like that. Like they need anybody. You know what I'm saying? But I want you around. You know what I'm saying? Like, wherever you are is home for me.
Mm.
And that's how it's got to be. You have to fuck with each other in a real way, or it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And some people, and that's cool for some people. Some people just want that arrangement. That's cool. I remember I was doing cable. I was doing cable when we was doing out in Ferguson, as a matter of fact. But back when I was working for Charter, I would go into folks' homes all the time, and they would be married but have their own rooms and shit like that. And it used to be super sad to me. It used to be super sad to me, and it wasn't even on some shit like we cool during the day. We just go to sleep at night in separate beds. And sometimes people have like they snore crazy, so you got to have your separate room and stuff like that. But just to feel like you need your own space all the time when you married, it's kind of crazy. It's just
I
kind of
ain't been down
crazy.
that road, so I don't know. I know if there's been jokes like if I marry somebody, you gotta have a house where he got his section and I got his section, but I think that also comes
That's
with
that's that's
complications.
not the type of relationship that I want to be in. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Right.
I I wouldn't be able to deal with it. I wouldn't be able to deal with it. If my wife said she wanted a separate room, I'm like, oh well, okay, well, I guess this is it. You know what I'm saying?
Bitch, what you mean you want a separate room?
Flat out, like, okay, well, let me get these papers drawn up because we done took a turn. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and it's sad because I mean, marriage can be awesome. You know what I'm saying? It can be really dope, and just companionship can just be really dope. Period. But a lot of these women I hear say that they with a nigga and feel lonely. Like
I've
that's
heard that.
crazy.
I either heard it or I see it.
Yeah,
But we
that's
can
that's that's
tell.
great.
And those tend to be the most judgmental women online. That's what's crazy. It's like,
Hella, hella, because
girl,
they
that
come
was
from
a
a place of
whole
hurt.
business arrangement.
Yeah, yeah. And again, like some people, that's what they want, and that's fine. But if you want a loving relationship, you have to be your authentic self.
Um,
You have to. You have to.
well, I feel like I gave y'all a gift, a early Christmas gift. We need y'all to take it. It was unique. but,
Unique situation
but
for
thank you
sure.
for coming on and blessing the ladies today because I'm pretty sure this is a word that somebody needed and somebody's going to get delivered. I can feel
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I want black folks to win, just in general. I love black people.
it. We gotta win in sections. It's layers.
Mm-hmm.
We unpack something new every month. Like, oh, so we still dealing with this dumb shit? Bet. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so we got to get
We
in
can't
there.
do it if we don't do it together. We can't do it. Like that battle of the sexes shit, it gotta go.
It's God.
It,
It's
it gotta go because we won't be free. Black people won't be free until the
the
black woman is
shackles.
free.
The
You know what I'm saying?
shackles.
Yeah. So for
The
sure,
the
for sure. But yeah.
shackles.
Anytime though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up with you know what I'm saying? I like I said, I want to support what you do. I think that you're doing some dope shit, and so yeah.
Appreciate
Whenever you
it.
were, all right.
I just want to give us space to tell our stories, and I know some of the best stories come from folks that y'all ain't talked to yet. So that's what I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
do out in these streets.
Word,
I don't know when
word.
we still in, y'all. Y'all know what I always say. Where applicable, wear your mask, wash your hands, socially distance, and when you get a free moment, please remember to mind your business and clean out your dirty bag. Till next time.
Well, darling, there's only one God.